welcome for the first class in terms of JavaScript. Though we have already studied some of the points, some of the attributes, some of the syntax already when we were learning JSON programming, but over here we'll study in detail what is JavaScript, why JavaScript is required, and what are the different types of syntax and data types that we have in JavaScript. First of all, why do we study JavaScript? JavaScript is one of the three languages all the web developers must learn. That means if you are planning to have a future into web development, then this is one of the very important language that a web developer must learn. First of all, we know what is HTML. HTML defines the content of the web page, which we have already seen. Next is the CSS, which specifies how does the web pages look like, the layout of that particular web page, which we have already seen. Coming to the third point, JavaScript, it is to program the behavior of web pages. How does a web page behave? Okay, in what sense it is behaving and what are the different aspects we are going to study in JavaScript. Okay, so these are the three most important languages which are very important when we consider the term web development. Now let us study. First of all, what is JavaScript? JavaScript, it was created by Netscape. Okay, originally it was called as Livewire and then it came to be known as LiveScript. Now, JavaScript is nothing but it is a scripting language. Okay, it is the world's most popular programming language and it is also referred to as programming language of the web. Like in humans, we have languages like English, Hindi, Konkani, Marathi, okay, Punjabi, Telugu, Kannada. There are different languages, okay, by which the humans they communicate with each other. In the same sense, when we consider web, there are nothing but there are different systems which are connected, computers which are connected. Different clients are there, different servers are there, okay, which try to communicate with each other. So how do they communicate is by a programming language. And when I say web, okay, the web browsers, how they react, JavaScript is one of the programming language of the web. And it is the most popular one because it is really simple to learn, okay. There are few attributes, okay. There are few features which are to be considered when you write a particular program and it works fine, okay. Now, a client-side scripting language. JavaScript is also referred to as a client-side scripting language. Okay, why? See, as I said, we have a server and there is a client. Okay, client always requests for some data from this server and the server replies back. Again, when I say client side and server side, there are different languages. There are different particular which are behind each of the side. Now, client side refers to the fact that it is executed in the client. That means the software that the viewer is going to use. In case of JavaScript, the client is nothing but the browser, okay, which is executing a particular thing. Whereas in the server side, it is the one that runs on the web server. So whatever request that has been provided by the client on the browser, okay, the output to that particular thing is given only if the server responds, right? So that is taken care by the server side. If I'm typing something into Google, okay, Google gives me a correct answer, but that particular processing happens because client has requested for a particular data onto the web browser. That web browser is indeed connected to a server which will reply back and give the correct data. Okay. So when I say client-side language, PHP, Python, this are considered onto your client side. Of course, we are going to study, PHP in our final unit, that is fourth unit, and learn how the server-side languages are written. Okay. Right now, we are interested in the client-side scripting language. That is how the scripting happens from the client side. From the server side, we are going to study in the next particular unit. It is interpreted on the fly by the client. Now, why this particular term? Because Each line is processed as it loads into the browser. Okay, whatever thing that you type into the browser, if you run, each particular line processing happens. Okay, whatever you type, it will go according to that. Okay, suppose you do not provide a proper URL, then it will mention to you that the URL is not proper or something that it doesn't find. So whatever line, anything that you type onto the browser, it will get evaluated when you no, it will actually run when you say that enter button, and it will process and give you the output. Okay. If it is a valid, it will reply with a valid web page. If it is not valid, it will mention the same onto your Google page. JavaScript is the world's most popular programming language. Okay, it is the programming language of the web. It is easy to learn. So these are some of the features due to which JavaScript has been fondly used by a lot of people. Okay, lot of web developers. It is a lightweight programming language. Okay, also known as a scripting language. Now, why do I say it is a lightweight programming language? Because it is used to make the web pages interactive. Because, as I said, it will tell you what will be the behavior of the web page, whether it will provide the data or it will not provide the data. In what way it has been there. Okay, so it makes the web pages interactive. Second thing, it can insert dynamic text into the HTML like the username. Okay, it will react to different events. That is, there are a lot of buttons which are there. When you click on that particular button, um, like I said, there is something called as load function, click function. Okay, we are going to study them. Okay, so when you click on this type of button, it reacts. Okay, it shows change of behavior onto the web page. Next thing, get information about the user's computer. Example is your browser type, okay, depending upon what data that you insert into it. Perform calculations on the user's computer like form validation, okay. So regarding validation also we are going to study in detail. So there are a lot of operations, there are a lot of features which are provided by JavaScript that makes it easy to learn at the client side. What is JavaScript? It is a web standard, but it is not supported identically by all the browsers. Though it has been used, but there are some browsers who do not understand this particular languages. Okay, and the most important thing, there is, sometimes when you have identical name, you tend to relate both of the things. So when I say JavaScript and when I say Java, okay, some of y'all must have, no, not some of y'all, most of y'all must have heard the term Java, okay, Java language. So when I say Java language and JavaScript language, because the names have some of the identical part, they are mistaken that both things are the same. But if I have to clear this out, JavaScript is not related to Java. Okay, other than the name, okay, they do not have an relation that they do exactly the same thing. Java is different from your JavaScript. So that's why it is not related to Java other than by the name and some of the syntactic similarities which are present in the language. So JavaScript and Java, they are completely different type of languages that just happen to be similarly named. Okay, they just have a similar name, but they do not have the same kind of programming concepts which are there. Some of the syntax may be same, but they are not the same languages. Okay, when I say JavaScript, okay, the programs which are there, they are interpreted in the browser, because JavaScript is all about the behavior of different web pages. Okay, whatever that we type into the web browser, okay, regarding any particular web page, it will depend upon how that web page will behave. Whereas when I consider Java language, programs, they have been compiled, okay, like your C++ programs are compiled and they can be run as a standalone program applications. They do not require any other help. A C program can run on its own. C++ can run on its own. Similarly, Java program, they are also standalone program. They can be compiled and they can be run. Whereas JavaScript, they have been interpreted into the browser. Okay, we are going to see how JavaScript is incorporated into the HTML content, and we can run that particular program. Okay, so remember that JavaScript programs, they are interpreted and they are not compiled. Okay, more relaxed syntax and rules, okay, in case of JavaScript. Now in C++, there are certain rules that we have to follow. In the same way, Java also have their own particular rules, like public static void main, okay, then system.out.println, okay. These are the different syntax which are required for creating a particular main function or displaying onto the screen. Whereas in case of JavaScript, it is few syntax, and some of the syntax which are there, they are common. Okay, there are some of the few attributes that we have to study. So that's why they say when you compare both of them, there are few and there are looser data types. Okay, variables, they don't need to be declared. Okay, you can declare it within that particular statement. Okay, errors are often silent, that is, there are few exceptions over there. If you have a certain problem, it will not compile itself. Okay, so just to compare, when you compare both of them, we say that JavaScript is more relaxed as compared to Java. Okay, the key construct over here is the function rather than class. In Java we have classes, okay, we have objects. Okay, in the same way, JavaScript over here, we define different functions, and we are trying to use this particular functions in different situations so that we can control the behavior of the web pages. Most importantly, your JavaScript which is there, it is contained within a web page. Okay, it is with respect to a web page, and it is integrated with your HTML and the CSS properties. Okay, so we write JavaScript with the help of HTML and CSS content. That is, those are the things which make JavaScript different from your Java language. Okay, Java is a standalone application, whereas JavaScript, we run it with the help of HTML with CSS properties incorporated into it. Okay, and most importantly, we say that your JavaScript programs which are there, okay, they are interpreted and they are not compiled. See, Java is your object-oriented programming language, whereas JavaScript, it is a scripting language. Java application, they run on your virtual machine, okay, and your JavaScript which is there, they are used to run only in the browser, okay. But now, yes, we can run it on server using something called as Node. So when I say web application, both Java and JavaScript which are there, they work fine. However, you can say that JavaScript is more onto the web development part. Okay. So yes, most important, remember, Java is a object-oriented programming language, whereas JavaScript is a scripting language. Okay. Yes. Next part. Now, including JavaScript in HTML. As I said, some of the terms, we have already seen. Okay, there are two ways to add the JavaScript to the web pages. Okay, one is you use something called as script tag. Now, already when we were learning JSON program, we saw, right? We used to write something called as script. Okay, so in between the script, we used to write that particular code of JavaScript, and then the program would run. Okay, so there are two ways. One is you use the script tag, and we should ethically we should include this particular script tag into your HTML page head. Okay, though we can include it also after the head. And second particular way is to include the script into our external file. That is, you have we use JSON files. Okay, something that we write. The key value pairs, we used to save it into pure JSON file with the extension .json. In the same way, the script part which is there, if you want, whatever comes inside the script tag, they can be also written into a separate file. That is, open a notepad, okay, write the script code into it and save it with .js extension, okay, like one.js, and save it as all file types. Okay, and then the link of that particular JavaScript can be provided into the body, okay, like including that particular file name. So that can be also done. So one way is what, included into the same file. Second way is you store a separate JavaScript file and then include it into your HTML tag, okay, HTML file. So when you use the script tag, that time you save it with .html. So in the first program, in the first particular method, you save the file with one.html. In the second, you save the file with one.html, but you give the link of your JavaScript file, which is saved with .js extension. Okay. So initially we'll see all the programs which is including the script tag into your HTML body itself. Okay. Hello world. So this is basically the first program that we actually try onto the screen. That is how to run a hello world program. Now in C, C++ we used to write, right? int main and then print and in the bracket printf in the bracket hello world, okay, close the inverted comma, semicolon, done. And in your C++ it was cout, okay, hello world, semicolon, done. In the same way, in HTML, we could include something called as header and then do it, okay? HTML, CSS, okay? Now, how do we do it over here is with something called as, as I said, we'll see how to use some of the JavaScript properties to run that particular file. So typically in any programming language, the first example you learn displays the hello world. So we are going to take a look at the hello world example and then we'll see working of each particular statement. Okay. So this is how your JavaScript program looks like. Now if you see, this is nothing but JavaScript file with your HTML and CSS properties. So doc type file HTML, HTML opening, HTML closing, okay, head opening, head closing, and the title is given, body opening and body closing. Now over here I have not put the script tag in my head tag, but I have put it after the body tag. There is absolutely no harm in running this particular program. So I have opened a script, okay, and I have closed this script. Since I am using JavaScript, I have mentioned space type equal to text bar JavaScript. That means this programming language is a text type, which is a JavaScript type. So text bar JavaScript. So if it is in text or JavaScript, the program should work fine. Close that particular inverted comma and close the angular bracket. Okay. Now what I've written is, I've opened one more angular bracket, exclamation mark, 2 dashes. Okay. Over here, if you want, you can write any particular comment. Okay. After that, what I've written, document.write. Okay. Inside the round brackets, I've included a header, h1 opening, h1 closing, and I've written something called as hello world. Okay. So this is the text that will come when you run this particular file. So what does document.write do? Document.write is the attribute, is the property which is there in JavaScript, which helps to display the statement onto the output screen. Like we have printf, like we have cout, okay, that helps to display the things. In the same way, in JavaScript, we have something called as document.write. And there is one more which I had taught you all, that is document.writeln, that is on a new line. Okay, so both of these statements, they help you to display this particular text onto the screen, and they have a property that header1. So header1 properties are applied to this text, and this text will be displayed onto the screen. Okay, so I've closed my particular comment statement, closed my script, closed the body, closed the HTML. So this file I have to save with .html extension. Wherever I find HTML, it has to be saved with .html. So save it, suppose, with one.html and run. So when you run this particular program, what you will come to see is on your this screen, there will be something called as the hello world program. Okay, so this you will be able to see onto the screen. Now what we'll do is I will just copy the same particular code, okay, same particular code onto the output screen, and I'll show you all working again for the same. So this is my online compiler. I'm just typing the same thing. So whatever was there onto the screen, the same thing I'm typing. Document HTML body, script language equal to JavaScript. Okay. Yes, one more important thing is your script which is there now, there are two properties. Not required that we should write both of them, but usually, when the web developers they code, they write two properties. Okay, one property is the language. What language I am using? JavaScript. So I have written JavaScript over here. Okay, JavaScript over here. Space type, which is text or JavaScript. So the data that we write is in text or it is in JavaScript format. Okay, so that is written. Okay, colon. This is you start. Okay, document dot write, and this is hello world. Okay, so when you run this particular code, what should come on the screen? Hello world should come. Okay, so that is how it is working. Instead of hello world, if I want to, say, suppose good day. Suppose I want to say good day. Good day has come. Now the program which I had shown you previously, it included something called as header tag. Now let me put header tag inside this and see what are the changes. So inside this I include something called as h1, okay, and over here I put a backslash h1, okay. So if I put this particular thing, let's see how what is the change in the output. And one more important thing which I should not forget is the semicolon. Okay. So when I run, what will happen? This particular text which is there, okay, it will behave as if it is a header 1 and the output will come on the screen. Okay. So let me see. First, JavaScript program. So when I run this is how it will work. Instead of header 1, maybe I want to say header 3. Okay. And so header 3 has come. Let me, insert one more statement. Three more statements will include. We'll say header 1, header 2, and header 3. Okay. Similarly, header 1, header 2, and header 3. First JavaScript program. Let me see. Welcome. Okay. Then I say suppose good morning. Okay. So when I run this, what should come? Header 1 should be welcome, header 2 should be good morning, and header 3 should be the first JavaScript program. Okay. So this is how it works. Okay. Now suppose I say document.writeLN. This is also one property, okay, that is leaving the lines. Okay, so you can write either document write or document writeLN. Okay, so what has happened over here is I have used my HTML, okay, properties into my JavaScript program, and I have seen how does it work. Okay, so this is how the working happens. So now let's try to understand how these things work. So most importantly, we have something called as document.write. What does this do? Document.write, this particular method, okay, helps to write a string of text to the browser. So whatever text that you include, if you are not including it into the header files, okay. But if we are including, then also. So in both of the ways, what happens, whatever text that is there inside, it will get displayed onto the screens. Since I've used the HTML property of header 1, it will get displayed into the header 1 property. Now the same thing, okay, if I not included header 1, then it is not following any of this property. Okay, suppose I'm not including any header and I'm just displaying onto the screen. Okay, this happens. Now see, welcome, good morning, then end your JavaScript program. So this is getting displayed onto the screen. Okay. So what does the document.write do? Document.write, which is there, it helps us to display these things onto the screen. Okay, with which the working happens. Now, so what we need to understand over here is when I say document.write and these are the things, we enclose whatever text which is there inside is been enclosed into the double quotes. Okay, if you are not including any header text, then fine. When I include header text, that means I want those text which is there, suppose it is hello world, to appear in a particular HTML text. So H1 to H6 can be used. Similarly, it has to be ended by a semicolon. We put a semicolon which is enclosed in the after the whole statement is over. Next, comments. Okay, so comments in JavaScript can be written in two types. Okay, one is a single line comment, that is you can use two forward slashes. Okay, and write down whatever comment that you want to write. And suppose you want multiple line, then you can have one line backslash star, okay, and then write whatever content and then followed by star backslash, okay, a similar type that we follow for your C++, okay. So this is how we write comments into your JavaScript language. So this is a single line comment, that is two backslash. This is my JavaScript comment, okay, and this is multiple line comment. That is, if you have to write a long paragraph into the comment, then this can be included, okay. So these are two ways of by which we can include multiple line comment onto your JavaScript program. Now, coming to the next slide, we say that JavaScript is an event-driven program. Okay, recalling the first very statement, your JavaScript helps to control the behavior of the web pages. As I said, in JavaScript, we are going to study a lot of functions, lot of buttons. Okay, due to which the web page will behave in a different way. Okay, so that's why we say that it is an event-driven programming. Okay, the user is interacting with that particular web page. Okay, there are different buttons, there are different load functions. By just a click of the button, a particular event can occur. Okay, so when actually an event occurs, what happens? A JavaScript code is running behind. Okay, that JavaScript code may be having a particular function which is there, which is running, due to which you will get the output. So on the same page, you will have a different view of the output. Okay, like when you click on a particular button, what will happen is the button is going to show a particular functionality of the code, due to which it will work in a different way. Okay, so this is how it works. Now I'll just show you all one example. Now, what is this code about? I'll make you understand, but I just want to show you all how does the web page behaves in a different way. Now, see, this is a program. Okay, so when you run the program, this is how the things appear. Okay, focusing right now. Okay, I'm just focusing on just my output screen, which is there. This is suppose my output screen. There is one particular function. Okay, there is one particular button. Okay, and this button has a JavaScript code which is there. Okay, in that particular JavaScript code, I have written a particular function which will help me to display the date and time. Okay, so whenever I click on this particular button, what happens? The JavaScript code is running. And because the JavaScript code is running, what happens? The web page which has right now this particular look, when I click on this, it will display me the exact time. Okay, the time which is according to your computer setup. Okay, now coming back, so what has happened? That particular button I have clicked, so the user has interacted with the page by clicking a particular button, due to which an event has occurred. The event is what? To display the date and time. So when the event is occurring, what is actually happening? A JavaScript code is running. Okay. In this particular scenario, you can say function related to date and time. That particular function is running behind, and that's why the same page which is there, there is no, not it is not like one more page is getting displayed. On the same particular page, some things get displayed. Okay. So coming back over here. Okay, so previously say this is the view, right? So right now nothing is there. On that same particular page, when you click on the particular button, what happens? A time gets displayed. Okay, what according to the functionality, you will get the particular output which is displayed. So this is what the same page gets modified. That's why we say that JavaScript is like a event-driven programming. Okay, with a click of the button, event occurs. Okay, that event occurs backside. Okay, a JavaScript code runs, and on the same page of the output, the same web page, you will see a modified version. Okay, you will see a different behavior. So that is why we say that it is a event-driven programming. Okay. So you are used to programs that start with the main function. Mostly when the program works, it starts with the main function it calls. Okay, like in PHP. This is something that we are going to study later. But what does JavaScript program do? They are going to wait for the user action. That is, whenever the user clicks, that time only the program will run and you will see the output. It is not that the program, like in case of your C, when you run a particular program, the main function runs, right? From the main function, there is a function call which will jump to the control, and that particular function gets executed on its own. But over here, it is not like that. In JavaScript, what you do, you go to that particular functionality, you click, and then only the program is going to, then only there will be a change in the view of the output. So your JavaScript program, they wait for the user action. That's why we call it as a events, and then respond to that particular event. So that is why we say that it is an event-driven programming. You write the programs which are driven by the user events, that is user action. On click, load, okay, these are different functionalities which are available by which the web page will behave in a different way. Okay. So let's write a page with a clickable button that pops up to be a hello world window. Okay. So regarding this particular program, will look this program in the next class. Okay. So right now just understand that we can have, okay, we can create different user functionalities and we can change the behavior of the web page. Okay. This is how it works. Okay. The next part is in more detail, so I will not do it in this class. We'll do it in the next class. So up till here, it is what? So what we have understood is your JavaScript, okay, focuses more on event-driven programming. Okay, it is more upon different functions which are provided. With the help of the functions, what is the change in the output? That is what we see mostly in this particular language. Okay. So the next part I will take into the next class.